Welcome, folks. I am Jaby Kuwait, joined by Steph SABRAW.
Hello.
What up, bro?
What up?
We're gonna watch a movie starring Kirsten Dunst. And Tom Cruise, and Brad Pitt, and Steven Rea, and it's also starring Antonio Banderas and Christian Slater.
Ooh.
Wow.
Wow, that's stacked.
Yeah, it's got a powerhouse cast over here. We're watching Interview with the Vampire, The Vampire Chronicles. I didn't even say the name, but you knew that because you clicked on the video. You guys, thanks so much for joining us. Please do me a huge favor, subscribe, bell icon, all notifications, and pretty please vote this up. Let YouTube know you're enjoying what you're watching. That's assuming you're watching this on YouTube. If you are, you're gonna see a cut down version of our reaction because we can only show you a limited amount of picture-in-picture. But if you want to watch the whole thing with us, no cuts, no interruptions, head over to our Patreon page or become a member of this channel so you can watch the whole thing with us. No cuts or interruptions, but you will need your own copy of the film. We're watching this off Amazon Prime Video, so you can open it up in an adjacent window to our reaction. We'll give you a 3, 2, 1 countdown sync, and it'll be like you're watching with 2 of your favorite pals from the internet. Now, if you're watching this on Patreon or memberships already, thanks so much for supporting us here. Okay, all that out the way, let's jump into this.
You said you were waiting for me. What were you gonna do? Kill me, drink my blood, all that stuff?
Yes, but you needn't be concerned with that.
You really believe this, don't you, that you're a vampire?
We can't begin this way. Let me turn on the light.
I thought vampires didn't like the light.
We love it. I only wanted to prepare you. Shall we begin like David Copperfield? I am born. I grew up. 1791 was the year it happened. I was 24, younger than you are now. The master of a large plantation just south of New Orleans.
Oh!
Her inspiration.
I know, right?
I wanted to lose it all. My wealth, my estate.
I'm tripping out at how old this movie is because Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise are doing action movies still.
Yeah.
Indistinguishable nose. Tom Cruise. Or is it distinguishable? Whoopsie. English is hard. God.
It is.
Give me your money or you die.
Okay, so she's food. Oh.
Oh, they can fly.
Life has no meaning anymore, does it? But what if I could give it back to you? Pluck out the pain and give you another life. One you could never imagine.
Kinky.
Did you say kinky?
That morning, I was not yet a vampire, and I saw my last sunrise.
Have you said your goodbyes to the light?
We need a sequel to this with Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Bring him back. Vampire Maverick.
Yeah.
I don't know the lore of vampires. So, I guess that's how that works.
Yeah. Ugh.
Damn, he looks dead.
Yeah. It was actually a really good effect for when this came out.
Oh, what? It's like a Tim Burton movie.
Yeah.
My friend should taste those lips.
Is his kiss as deep as yours?
Deep, my share.
I literally just had something in my throat. Oh, wow. She's going for it. What role am I auditioning for? You're gonna get eaten by Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt.
Are you not hungry, sir?
Au contraire, ma chère. He could eat the whole colony. Pretend to drink, at least. Such fine crystal shouldn't go to waste.
I don't know why I find that funny. God.
Oh my god. Disgusting.
Live like this? Off the blood of animals?
I wouldn't call it living. Call it surviving.
We can live without taking human life. It's possible.
Anything is possible. But just try it for a week. Come into New Orleans. Let me show you some real sport.
Would you drink rat blood to have
No.
dinner with Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt?
Perhaps.
You see that one? Widow St. Clair. She had that gorgeous young fop murder her husband.
How do you know?
Read her thoughts.
Oh, they can do that too?
Is that a thing vampires can do?
Edward Cullen can.
She blamed a slave for his murder. Imagine what they did to him.
Ugh,
Evildoers are easier, and they taste better.
that's better.
Now, young man, you really amaze me. I'm old enough to be your grandmother.
Of a vampire who prowls the night killing rats and poodles. You could have finished us both. You condemn me to hell. I don't know any hell. Feed on what you will. Rats, chickens, poodles. I'll leave you to it and watch you come around.
You must send away this friend of yours. The slaves, they are all frightened of him, and they're frightened of you.
Uh-oh.
This place is cursed, damned, and yes, your master is the devil. Run! Save yourself!
Not as boo.
Perfect! Just burn the place, burn everything we own! Have us living in a field like cattle!
Thought you could have it all.
Oh, shut up, Louis! Come here!
Wow.
It was a nicely furnished house too.
I know. Sometimes emotions just make you do dumb things.
Don't go that way, monsieur. It's the plague. Go back the way you came.
The way I came.
I guess if they're dying anyway, right?
Yeah.
That's a good feast. Thanksgiving.
I feel like that'd be less painful than dying of the plague.
It'd be interesting if there were ways to get like mad cow as a vampire or something, or like badly cooked chicken or something. You know what I mean? Like what poisons a vampire
Yeah.
when it comes to food? Does he raise her and then fall in love with her? You ever see Legends of the Fall?
No.
Oh.
There is a lot of grooming going on though.
I thought he might need her. I wonder if this kind of scene would still be done today.
Oh, yes. This calls for a celebration.
Oh my lord. That's clearly a dummy, but still.
I have a gift for you.
Uh-oh.
You need company, Louis. More congenial than mine.
What, did you save the girl?
Oh.
Oh, what?
You remember how you wanted her? The taste of her.
I thought I'd killed her.
Your conscience is clear.
Oh.
No.
You want her to die then?
Gosh, what a precarious position he put him in.
Yes. Stop! Enough!
Oh, wow.
Oh, you got the glow up?
Okay. What the hell?
Yes. All right now. Stop. That's enough, Shelley. You must stop before the heart stops.
I want some more.
Oh, I know. Very well. Look at you. Not a drop spilt. Very good.
Where's Mama?
Mama.
What? Creepy.
I'm not your daughter.
Oh, yes, you are. You're mine and Louis' daughter now. Louis was going to leave us. He was going to go away. But now he's not.
Wow, you're an abuser.
Take notes, everybody. The secret to keeping a relationship.
Oh my goodness.
Whoops, forgot to take my pills this
Yeah.
A little child she was, but also a fierce killer, now capable of the ruthless pursuit of blood with all a child's demanding.
Uh-oh. Oh, that's... Nope.
Claudia! Claudia!
Oh.
Who will we get to finish your dress? A little practicality, Shelley. Remember,
What a weird movie.
Yeah.
Curling her little fingers around my hair, till the day came when she wanted one of her own.
Uh-oh. That's not gonna be good.
Whenever she awoke, she would crawl into mine.
Dang, you got a big coffin.
Why are you crying, child? Are you lost, my love?
Mama.
Hush now, don't cry. We'll find her.
Mama.
Oh, mon cher.
What?
Man's a thumb, girl. Man's a thumb. That little digit.
Claudia, what?
To me, she was a child, but to Lestat, a pupil. An infant prodigy with the lust for killing that matched his own.
Oh my goodness.
They finished off whole families.
Oh my goodness.
Damn.
What a turn this has taken.
30 years had passed, yet her body remained that of an eternal child.
Oh, man. That sucks.
Yeah.
Claudia! Claudia! What have you done?
What you told me to do!
Leave a corpse here to rot?
I wanted her! I wanted to be her!
She's not.
They go right back.
Oh,
I had a mother once, and Louis, he had a wife. He was mortal, the same as she, and so was I.
Claudia!
You made us what we are, didn't you?
Stop her, Louis.
Did you do it to me?
Oh. Oh.
He'd be dead now if I hadn't. Like that damned corpse. Now get rid of it.
You get rid of it.
teen years.
Technically, she's like 40.
Yeah.
I took your life. He gave you another one.
And I hate you both. You gave me your immortal kiss. You became my mother and my father. And so I'm yours forever. But now it's time to end it, Louis. Now it's time to leave him.
You will never let us go.
No,
It was one of her gifts, like.
really.
She is frightening. What a great actress she's always been.
Diabolical.
Yeah.
I've brought a present for you.
And I hope it's a beautiful beautiful woman with endowments you'll never possess.
Why do you say such things? You haven't fed enough. I can tell by your color. Come and see.
What is gonna happen?
I know, right? I'm so...
She is so freaky.
Don't be angry with me. When I saw them, I knew they were for you. I promise I'll get rid of the bodies.
Did she poison their blood?
We forgive each other then?
Yes.
How would she know to do that? Like, okay. Very curious to see what comes next.
You let me drink dead blood?
Oh.
One lesson you taught me. Never drink from the dead. Put you in your coffin!
Damn.
Oh my god.
Good night, sweet prince. May flights of devils bring you to your rest.
Like, girl, where'd you learn that?
What would he have liked, Louis? The swamp.
Just like without even skipping a beat. God damn.
Oh my goodness.
He was my maker. Shouldn't have been this way.
I did it for us so we could be free.
Toss her in there. It's gonna get you to at some point.
Yeah.
Let's set them free.
Yes.
Yes.
Or eat them. Oh, he doesn't eat birds anymore. And I guess he doesn't eat rats either.
Yeah, is he on humans now?
Yeah,
or?
he doesn't eat animals at all.
Oh.
Unless, at least that's what he indicated to her.
Yeah, that's true.
Uh-oh. Oh my god! What?
Listen, Louis.
What the fuck?
Claudia. You've been a very, very naughty little girl.
What?
This
Nice timing.
This music is very Danny Elfman to me.
Yeah.
Though the fire seemed to spread through the quarter, I stood on that deck, fearful he would come out again.
Yeah, I would too.
Like some monster to destroy us both.
Yeah.
I would.
You gave me the dark gift, and I delivered you into the hands of death for the second time.
Took that whole city with you.
Sad.
We reached the Mediterranean. I wanted those waters to be blue, but they were black, straining to recall the color that in my youth I had taken for granted. Ruin after ruin, country after country, and always we found nothing.
That was a cool transition.
So there are no vampires in Transylvania, no Count Dracula?
The vulgar fictions of a demented Irishman. Paris, September 1870. The city I had always dreamed of. I was Creole after all, and Paris was the mother of New Orleans, a universe whole and entire unto herself.
They desperately needed like a Reddit page.
Yeah.
Like some kind of Facebook group.
When I'd given up the search for vampires, the vampire found me.
Oh. Oh, Antonio Banderas?
Oh. Enchanté.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
Buffoon! Santiago.
Oh, there he is.
Green de petite beauty with you. No one will harm you. I won't allow it. And remember my name, Armand.
Oh, that's where they got the What We Do in the Shadows. In What We Do in the Shadows, they have a call to that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I don't want to die.
But death we are, and death we've always been.
Someone help me! Please!
Oh, boy. What?
Monstrous.
Why?
Yeah, why?
Like, what an awful show.
What?
We live beneath. Let me show you.
Dang, what a set piece.
Yeah.
What are we?
Nothing. If not vampires.
Who made us what we are? The source. All this evil.
You die, and you kill. You feel you deserve to die, and you stint on nothing. But does that make you evil? Or since you comprehend what you call goodness, does it not make you good? Perhaps this is the only real evil left.
God does not exist. The place was empty as we left, and as we blundered through it, again came the thought, I have wronged Lestat.
How did you wrong him? You said a name. There is but one crime among us vampires here. It's the crime that means death to any vampire. Kill your own kind.
He wants you as a companion. Do you know what his soul said to me? Let him go, he said. Let him go. My father. My Louis.
It'll be all right.
You really believe that?
Did he penetrate her mind, or she has the ability to read minds?
She, I think, can read minds.
Thinks victory has inured him against sorrow. Till death comes by and chops him from his home.
So they just put together really bad plays and kill some people.
I was waiting for you. Listen to me.
It's pretty epic, that play.
Do you know how few vampires have the stamina for immortality? The world changes. We do not. I need you to make contact with this age.
I'm not the spirit of any age. I'm at odds with everything.
That is the very spirit of your age.
The vampires in the theater.
They can't reflect anything. But you do. You reflect its broken heart.
Are you following? I'm a little bit confused.
Yeah, I am too. A lot of homoerotica in this film, though. I think maybe because he actually cares about life still.
You are beautiful, my friend. Lestat must have wept when he made you.
You knew Lestat?
Knew him well enough not to mourn his passing.
I felt a kind of peace at last.
He could have been just reading his mind.
Drink. Do it, Louis! Because I cannot do it. I haven't the strength. You saw to that when you made me. You have found your new companion, Louis. You will make me mine.
Don't make me do this. I cannot!
You could do it to me, snatching me from my mother's hands, like two monsters in a fairy tale. And now you weep. You haven't tears enough for what you've done to me. You give her to me, Louis! Do this before you leave me! I love you still.
This is such a weird story.
Do care for me, my love.
I mean,
My dark angel.
it's interesting. It's just
Yeah.
so bizarre. Underneath it all, human desires, companionship.
A child who cannot die.
A child who did die.
My daughter.
Oh, it's perfect. House of the Dragon messed me up because now I see her dress and I think war.
Oh, yeah.
So he's got to cut his wrist, right? And feed her?
What died in that room was not that woman. The last breath in me.
What?
That was human.
Yes, Father. At last we are even.
It's time for justice, little one!
Get me Armand. He wouldn't stand for this.
Death you. Eternity in a box.
Is he aware?
Oh my gosh.
Damn. It's not like you can't even hope that you're gonna die at some point.
Yeah. Oh, the sun will come.
But then, okay, so if you don't drink blood as a vampire, you just feel this hunger panging kind of thing, but you still stay alive, I guess?
I think so.
Okay. Oh no. Oh shit.
Hide yourself in your cloth.
I was actually thinking that too. Not even one day as a vampire. Not even one day.
Yeah.
Taken out.
What?
I cannot help her.
Where's Claudia? I can't save her! Claudia!
Damn. I can't remember the name of the actor, but he reminds me so much of the bad guy from Inglourious Bastards.
Oh, totally.
Damn.
Wow. I guess you messed with the wrong person.
That was strange.
Yeah.
That looks freaky.
Yeah.
Louis!
What?
He's pretending like he was escaping.
You didn't even warn them, did you?
No,
And you knew what I would do?
I knew. I rescued you, didn't I? From the terrible dawn.
Everyone loves Louis.
Regrets. Nothing. You feels nothing. If that's all I have left to learn, I can do that on my own.
I came really close.
You are dead, and you want me to quicken you once more. And as much as your invitation might appeal to me, I must regretfully decline.
I'm surprised there hasn't been a moment where they went all the way with a kiss.
Yeah.
I left the old world and came back to my America. And there, a mechanical wonder allowed me to see the sun rise for the first time. And what sunrises? Seen as the human eye could never see them. And then on Britannia Street, only blocks from the Lafayette Cemetery, I caught the scent of death. And it wasn't coming from the graves. The scent grew stronger as I walked.
Is it
Old death.
the guy?
A scent too faint for mortals to detect.
What?
I'm so glad you were here. I've dreamed of this moment. She never should have been one of us.
It's all past, Lestat.
Yeah.
How does he look?
No, not bad.
No one could refuse me. Not even you, Louis.
I tried.
Yes, you tried.
If you stayed with me, I could venture out again. I must leave now. Whatever happened to Lestat, I do not know.
Very Pulp Fiction look.
I mean, take me. That's what I want. I want what you have. I refuse to let it end like this.
Do you like dying? Stop.
He bounced. A red Corvette.
No.
I would have been happy to join them.
Good stuff.
I assume I need no introduction. I'm going to give you the choice I never had.
What a very interesting movie.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. It held up for being like almost 30 years old. The only thing I was hoping for, like I realized this thought like 3/4 of the way through the film, because they established their powers. And I was like, dang, I mean, if this was made today, it obviously would be played totally different. They established their powers and the ability to move quick and whatnot, and we barely got to see that being used in the movie. Most of the film was just dialogue about the woe is me from Brad Pitt's character. I would have a hard time being able to remember all the characters' names, so I might refer to them just as their celebrity names.
Yeah,
But
I know.
it was an interesting like insight into what it would be like to be that in a very grounded way. For them, I mean, there was some goofy stuff that felt very much like campy. I thought it was just an interesting insight into that. As far as vampire films go, this was definitely my favorite experience.
I get why people really dig this film.
Yeah.
With vampires, usually there is a little bit of campiness, so I appreciated that. Like,
So you were anticipating that?
a little bit, yeah.
Okay.
I thought, well, there's a few that are like more serious, obviously the classics. I think a lot of it does have this campy feel, especially because I've just finished What We Do in the Shadows and it pulls heavily from this.
The movie or the show?
The show.
Okay.
I thought it was extremely well written and like a cool look into humans. If we've given the choice, even knowing the story, we would still take immortality like fools that we are.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's a really cool look at our psychology.
Even with the ability to live for centuries, it seems like ultimately our needs are quite simple, which is just companionship at the end of the day. I would think that if you have that long to live, you would just be moving from companion to companion, whether it is a friend or a significant other of some kind. It's like at a certain point, you might just get bored of that person and move on. Like how many conversations could you and I have over 200 years,
Yeah.
right? But it was interesting and fascinating, the idea of no, but you like have an attachment, a bond to that person, and you want to keep that person for all intents and purposes forever. Like that's not something I was expecting at all.
Yeah, there's
You know?
huge undertones of
Homoeroticism, yeah.
Yeah, that, but also the grooming kind of, you know, like laying claim to people in an obsessive way in the name of love or whatever it may be diluted
Toxicity.
into. Toxicity.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise's character was really cool because he was so weird, like and addicted to Louis and wanted him so bad at whatever cost and was even okay with him facing death twice, but the fact that Louis came back, he was like, yes. It's creepy.
When you're reading this as a novel, I think that your experience is going to be fundamentally different from it being a movie, and I can tell that this is a movie based on a novel. If you didn't tell me that, I'd still get that sort of sense from it because of the way it's structured. The way Louis is, he's not a very active character. He's very passive, and that's the one thing that bothered me in this story. It's like 30 minutes and he's like, I don't want to hurt people. It's like, bitch, you're a vampire. Come on now. It's like 30 minutes of the movie is that, and then it continues of this like sort of guilt trip that he has with himself. I'm like, are you just gonna live your whole life like this? I guess so. That was the one thing that sort of bothered me. If vampires were real, it was like a documentary on vampires. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I appreciated that aspect of it. It was sort of fascinating as like direct insight into the psychology of what a vampire would actually be like if they were real.
Totally. Like, I feel like the author of the book, I want to know what it was like the day she was like, okay, imagine this. We get an interview with a vampire.
Yeah.
What would it be like? And I also love the set designs. We saw like a wide array of different like countries and time pieces, and
Yeah, that was all cool.
it was really cool.
Yeah, production value was great.
Yeah. One of my criticisms with I wish Antonio Banderas and that entire group's characters were a little bit more flushed out because he was so willing to just be like, okay, murder them.
Well, you know what was fascinating about them? I thought you were going to go somewhere else with that, which is how structurally this is actually similar to Twilight in a way. You have this person who's much older, who seeks out someone really young, because he was only 24. I mean, even though it was back then, still. Because 24 back then is like 40 today or something, right? So you're basically an old man at 25. The bad guys were not introduced until 3/4 of the way through the film, or even further. Like the villains of the film. Because like, if you could argue that Tom Cruise was kind of a villain the entire time, right? But like the people who really do some serious damage in the movie weren't introduced till late into the movie. And that was my biggest criticism of Twilight. But for whatever reason, here it was fine for me. And I think it's because it felt like a journey as opposed to a modern day movie or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was like more mixed genre in the sense that I was okay if there wasn't even a villain because they were telling the story beautifully. I was invested in Louis's life and Kristen Dunst's character and where it was gonna go, even if there wasn't necessarily a villain, him finding like his own morality and trying to figure out his own existence in the world with his current state. That was enough for me, and then the villain added it.
I'm surprised they didn't go all the way with the homo stuff. It's just like,
I know, just do it.
You're most of the way there. You might as well at least have the kissing stuff go happen.
I guess it was the 90s.
But okay, let me like I caught myself saying homo stuff, homoerotic stuff, or homo loving stuff, whatever you want to. What's the proper phrasing for that? I don't even know. You know, I don't mean anything bad by it.
No, so, like in a good way. Like it was already part of the story.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it felt like it was most of the way there. It was notably absent of any heterosexual love, except for what seemed to be indicated between Kirsten Dunst and, well, one of them. I would imagine Brad Pitt. If this was like a French movie, they would have just taken it all the way. Back, in the 90s, they would have. It was hinting at a relationship that was also brought about in the movie The Professional with Natalie Portman and I forgot his name. That was removed from the American cut because it was just too much for the American audience. And I can see why. Like, they like really, really pushed the line there. And then they covered his face. She covered his face with her hand when she kissed him. Yeah. I would imagine she didn't actually kiss him.
Yeah.
Just because
she was a kid.
Exactly.
When you mature, it's different.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, even though she looks like a little kid, she's 40.
Yeah.
It just looks icky.
Yeah.
But she's 40.
Yeah.
So she's got the mind and conceivably the needs of a 40-year-old. And she did a fantastic job. Like, Kristen Dunst killed it. She was the most interesting character because of her acting in the entire film. I mean...
Yeah, she kind of stole the show.
Yeah. If she wasn't at least nominated for an Academy Award, that just seems like she got robbed because she did such a good job.
It was such an interesting character because she was this gray area of she was caught at innocence, but then quickly introduced to not understanding morality and was okay killing because she was so young.
Yeah.
And then was kind of evil, but loving.
Yeah.
It was so obscure.
I've never seen a vampire film that dove into raising a child. Moreover, that child being stuck. I mean, you sort of saw little hints of that in Eternals with Sprite. That was interesting to look at and observe of just like, oh, you killed another person? I told you, not inside the house. It's just like...
In your own bed?
Yeah, it's like you have the same problems. It's just mapped over other things. Yeah. You know what I mean? Why would you keep a dead body in your bed? Like these things that you might do as a child, but taken to this other degree that is so much more gross and upsetting, but kind of funny in a very Sam Raimi kind of way.
Yeah.
I remember I had food in my bedroom that I forgot about, and my dad yelled at me because the ants came and started eating it. You don't want to keep a dead body in your bed. It's gonna rot in there. That's gross.
It's like so obscure but serious, and you buy into it because the film did such a good job of establishing it. But yeah, I like those quirky moments of funny that they had.
The music was interesting. The only thing that kind of threw me sometimes was just like the sudden loud motifs or whatever they're called, the musical moments of just like boom, boom. And I'm like, golly, calm down, movie. But like, I guess it was the 90s, and I guess they did that, or maybe it was just leaning into the campiness of it. It was interesting choices being made there. It just kind of made me giggle because it felt so campy sometimes. When the movie got further along, it got away from that stuff. It's fascinating. I just keep coming back to that word. I have mixed feelings about Brad Pitt's performance in the movie. I'll say that much though. Did you like it?
Yeah, I thought it was a different performance than what I'm used to with him.
It's funny you should say that. I feel like I've seen him do that kind of performance quite a bit. Generally speaking, I like it. When I notice it, it bothers me.
Okay.
Yeah, like if you watch Meet Joe Black and you just study his face, and then you watch Benjamin Button and you just study his face, he makes the same exact expressions. Like his way of approaching certain strange roles is very similar each time. And I respect it. If it works, it works. But when I notice it, it bothers me. And I noticed it here. And for lack of a better word, it was more boring here than in those other roles that I mentioned. He was interesting in Meet Joe Black to me. He was interesting in Benjamin Button. And here it was just sort of like kind of monotonous. Whereas Tom Cruise has flair, and you know, he's got his smile and he's got his diabolicalness. And then Kirsten Dunst is just like all kinds of hills and valleys and like levels, you know? Antonio Banderas, well, he was just, Antonio Banderas just does a very good job of playing himself. Yeah, Brad Pitt chose this very, I mean, he was more of kind of like the way Neo is in The Matrix. The purpose of Neo in The Matrix is for us to be able to project ourselves onto Neo as if we are Neo taking part in The Matrix. Likewise, I think we are supposed to be Brad Pitt. He is our access to that world. And so I guess it works in that respect. It's just like after a while, I'm like, dang, dude, like, you don't yell much. You have just one note this entire movie until they killed your little girl. Then he started yelling. I was like, who's this guy? Like that. The other 90% of the movie, I didn't see this dude.
I thought that was a choice, and I was okay with the choice. For him to be like kind of a blank slate for us to be like, oh, if we were a vampire with our morality still and still cared about the sanctity of life, that's how it would be.
I want to walk back what I said earlier a little bit in that I do appreciate that struggle, because I think a lot of us can understand that. It makes it more relatable for us as people who have a moral compass of some kind. How would you feel if you were brought suddenly into this world where you're being told to kill people when your whole life you've been told that's wrong? How would you react to that? It would take you decades, presumably, to get there.
Yeah, and
you know?
the confusion with Tom Cruise's character, right? Like, he brought him into this world, but it's also like he's brought him into hell. It's this love-hate relationship, and I think that's how he feels about the entire world.
Yeah. I'm surprised there's never been a sequel to this.
Yeah.
Maybe they felt like they could never measure up, but...
because of the time and place it was made. Yeah, it's like perfectly in its like 90s pocket.
I wonder if they could do a sequel today. There's gotta be a way.
Ship it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's gotta be a way.
Yeah.
Like I said, Vampire Maverick.
With Tom Cruise's aging style, he would pull it.
Anyways, you guys, thanks so much for hanging out. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Let us know your feelings in the comments below. And if you felt exactly how you did the first time you watched this movie, watching it with us. Do hit the subscribe button, bell icon, all notifications, vote this up. Please let YouTube know you enjoyed what you watched. And if you're watching this on Patreon or memberships, thanks so much for supporting us here. I'm Jaby. This is
Steph SABRAW.
Peace out.